Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome to my channel. Today I have my December Boxing Day book outlet haul for you, so stay tuned. Somebody here is wanting all of my attention right now. You gotta go down. So this is my super late Boxing Day haul. Unfortunately, it's a little bit of a letdown because I didn't get everything that I wanted to get. So I originally had placed a Boxing Day order with Book Outlet and it shipped and then it got lost. So Book Outlet was great. They refunded me for all the books that they didn't have any more copies of, and then they sent me out the ones that they still had a copy of that I ordered. But it really stinks because some of the ones that I was super excited about, they didn't end up having another copy, so I didn't get it. But like one of them I ordered for Boxing Day was Flatshare, and I have since purchased that, so you'll see that in a future haul. So let's get into this box. So I've pulled up my original order on bookoutlet.com so that I could tell you the prices of all of these, because the receipts now don't tell the prices. So we got some paper and some paper. Okay, so a lot of my Boxing Day order was going to be books for Xander. With some, there's some books that both of us are going to enjoy, and then there's also ones that are just for me. So these first two are ones that are actually for both of us. And I'm not, well, I can't say I'm not big into manga. I've never really read any manga because I think it's gonna be really hard reading the opposite direction. But I came across these this manga series that I really wanted to check out, and Xander was also really interested, and that is Wonderland. So I have Wonderland 1 and 2, and I mean, these look so cool and super creepy. It says for number 1, it says survival of the tiniest. Teenage girl Yuku awakens to find that she has shrunken in size. But this is no rabbit hole or fairy tale. This is real life. In a desperate and bloody struggle to stay alive while fleeing giant predators and other twisted dangers, Yuku discovers that she is not the only person who has turned tiny. Can she survive long enough to learn the truth behind her curious transformation? And yeah, this is, you know, a manga, so it reads from like what we would think back to front. But it sounds really cool. I love a retelling, so I'm hoping I'll love these. So these were each $5.49. Next is one that I bought for Xander because he's like, he really wanted it, and I was like, I thought I bought this for you. And he's like, no, you never bought that for me. So I bought it for him. And then I realized that I really had bought it for him. I just stuck it away because it was going to be a Christmas gift, and then I forgot. And that's Spoof on Titan, Volume 1, Hondori. And I thought it looked really cute and thought it would be something he would enjoy. And obviously it is something he would enjoy because he asked for it, and I had also gotten it for him. So now we have 2. So I'll probably be taking one of these to McKay's. Oh, and if you don't know, this is like a spoof on the graphic novel or manga or whatever, or anime, I don't know, Attack on Titans. And this was $3.29. Okay, next up is a book for myself that is Intercepted by Alexa Martin. This is a football rom-com. I learned about this from Chelsea over at Chelsea Darling Reads. I know she read it and she enjoyed it, and it sounded kind of cute and interesting, so I thought I'd pick it up when I saw it on Boxing Day. This says, Marley thought she scored the man of her dreams only to be scorched by a bad breakup, but there's a new player on the horizon and he's in a league of his own. Marley Harper is the perfect girlfriend. She's definitely had enough practice by dating her NFL star boyfriend for the last 10 years. But when she discovers he has been tackling other women on the sly, she vows to never date an athlete again. There's just one problem. Gavin Pope, the new hotshot quarterback and a fling from the past, has Marley in his sights. Gavin fights to show Marley he's nothing like her ex. Unfortunately, not everyone is ready to let her escape her past. The team's wives, who never led the welcome wagon, are not happy with Marley's return. They have only one thing on their minds: take her down. But when the gossip makes Marley public enemy number one, she worries about more than just her reputation. Between their own fumbles and the wicked wives, it will take a Hail Mary for Marley and Gavin's relationship to survive the season. And this was $4.39. Okay, so this next book is one for Xander, and he's really into like historical fiction, things about like kids during like World War II or things like that. And he picked out some books along those lines. The first one is Empire of the Sun by J.G. Ballard. This is the classic award-winning novel made famous by Steven Spielberg's films, tells of a young boy's struggle to survive World War II in China. Jim is separated from his parents in a world at war. To survive, he must find a strength greater than all the events that surround him. Shanghai, 1941, a city aflame from the fateful torch of Pearl Harbor. In streets of chaos and corpses, a young British boy searches in vain for his parents. Imprisoned in a Japanese concentration camp, he is witness to the fierce white flash of Nagasaki as the bomb bellows the end of the war and the dawn of a blighted world. Ballard's enduring novel of war and deprivation, internment camps and death marches, and starvation and survival is an honest coming-of-age tale set in a world thrown utterly out of joint. This was $5.49. Okay, next up is another one for Xander, but I might read some of it. I don't know. It is The Best of the Best Horror of the Year, 10 Years of Essential Short Horror Fiction, edited by 8-time Hugo Award winner Ellen Datlow, featuring stories by Laird Barron, Susie McKee Charnas, Brian Evison, Neil Gaiman, Mira Grant, Tanith Lee, Livia Llewellyn, Peter Straub, Lucy Taylor, and many others. This says, a group of mountain climbers caught in the dark fights to survive their descent. In the British countryside, hundreds of magpies ascend into the sky, higher and higher until they seem to vanish into thin air. A professor and his student track a zombie horde in order to research zombie behavior. An all-girl riding school has sinister secrets. A town rails in vain against a curse inflicted upon it by its founders. For more than 3 decades, editor and anthologist Ellen Datlow, winner of multiple Hugo, Bram Stoker, and World Fantasy Awards, had her finger on the pulse of the horror genre, introducing readers to writers whose tales can unnerve, frighten, and terrify. This anniversary volume, which collects the best stories from the first 10 years of her annual The Best Horror of the Year anthology series, includes fiction from award-winning and critically acclaimed authors Neil Gaiman, lists all those guys again. So yeah, just a whole bunch of short horror stories, and that's another thing he likes, is creepy, scary stuff. This was also $5.49. Okay, so the next book is one that's for me. It's one that I've seen other people talk about on BookTube and they've really enjoyed it, and that is Undead Girl Gang by Lily Anderson. I think I might have first heard about this from Kayla over at Books and Lala, but I'm not 100% sure. This says, meet teenage Wiccan Mila Flores, who truly could not care less what you think about her Doc Martens, her attitude, or her weight, because she knows that no matter what, her BFF Riley is right by her side. So when Riley and Fairmont Academy mean girls June, Fela, Park, and Dayton Nezeth die under suspicious circumstances, Mila refuses to believe everyone's explanation that her best friend was involved in a suicide pact. Instead, armed with a tube of lip gloss and an ancient grimoire, Mila does the unthinkable to uncover the truth. She brings the girls back to life. Unfortunately, Riley, June, and Dayton have no recollection of their murders, but they do have unfinished business to attend to. Now, with only 7 days until the spell wears off and the girls return to their graves, Mila must wrangle the distracted group of undead teens and work fast to discover their murderer before the killer strikes again. It's black with pink font. This was $7.09. Okay, next up is a graphic novel that Xander picked out. It's called Deathbed. The Greatest Story Never Told. Antonio Luna is the most remarkable man who has ever lived, or possibly the most reprehensible. Either way, no one has ever known his full story until now. Luna is on his deathbed, preparing to dictate his memoirs to Valentine Richards, a failed novelist turned ghostwriter. The singularly unadventurous Val seems like a strange choice to tell the story of a man who's lived the most adventurous life of all time, but things get even stranger when she learns that someone else is trying to erase Luna's story completely by murdering everyone from his past who could corroborate his wild tales of alien mutants, mummy ninjas, and cannibalist cults. Soon Val finds herself sucked into Luna's whirlwind world of sex, violence, and mind-altering jellyfish. Can this unlikely pair solve the mystery of who's trying to purge Luna from history before his life comes to a close? Or will they both be crushed under the sheer weight of his monumental self-regard? I might have to read this first and make sure it's okay before I pass it on to Xander. This was $7.09. And next up is a book for myself by one of my new favorite authors, and that is More Than We Can Tell by Brigid Kimmerer. I have loved reading her A Curse So Dark and Lonely and A Heart So Fierce and Broken, and I've also just recently ordered another one of her books. I'm loving her books. I love her writing style, so I'm really looking forward to reading more by her. This says, from New York Times bestselling author Brigid Kimmerer comes an achingly beautiful story about two teens finding the courage to lift the burden of their scars, old and new. Rev has managed to keep the demons of his past at bay until he gets a letter from the abusive father he hasn't seen in years, and the trauma of his childhood comes hurtling back. Emma has only one escape from her parents' fighting, the computer game she built from scratch, until an online troll's harassment causes her to fear for her safety. When Rev and Emma cross paths one night, they're both longing to confide in someone, to share the weight of their worries. They connect instantly and deeply, vowing to help each other no matter what. But soon, Rev's and Emma's secrets threaten to crush them, and they'll need more than a promise to find their way out. And this was $3.29. Okay, so after I show you the last book that's in this box, I'll tell you the other books that I ordered that didn't end up arriving. So the last book in this box is The Colorado Kid by Stephen King, and this is really meant to be a book for Xander, but I might possibly read it myself. It says, for the first time in a decade, the Colorado Kid returns. On an island off the coast of Maine, a man is found dead. There's no identification on the body, only the dogged work of a pair of local newspapermen and a graduate student in forensics turns up any clues, and it's more than a year before the man is identified. And that's just the beginning of the mystery, because the more they learn about the man and the baffling circumstances of his death, the less they understand. Was it an impossible crime, or something stranger still? No one but Stephen King could tell this story about the darkness at the heart of the unknown and our compulsion to investigate the unexplained. With echoes of Dashiell Hammett's The Maltese Falcon and work of Graham Greene, one of the world's greatest storytellers, presents a moving and surprising tale whose subject is nothing less than the nature of mystery itself. And this was $3.89. Okay, so the other things that I ordered and didn't end up getting, we have A Night In with Audrey Hepburn. That was for me. For Xander, we have Imprisoned, the Betrayal of Japanese Americans During World War II. For me, we have The Flat Share. For Xander, there's Better Than Batman, Nightwing Volume 1, and Back to Bloodhaven, Nightwing Rebirth Volume 2. The Confession, Fear Street, that's for Xander as well. The Best of the Year, Horror Volume 10. Wada Nahara and the Great Blue Sea, the complete collection. Fairy Tale Battle Royale Volume 1. And that's it. So my total originally was $101.71. And then I got $40 off from the sale, which brought my total down to $61.71. And then they ended up refunding me like, I want to say like $31. So that brought my total down to about $30. And then I also used $20 in rewards. So I think I only spent like 10 bucks on these books. So I ain't mad. So that is everything in this haul. Have you read any of it? Did you like it? Did you not? Comment down below and let me know. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye!